Okay, well, today I'd like to continue my reviewing Weezer series thing. I'm going to be eating my dinner while I'm doing it, and just let me know if you want some. Okay, the next album I review is one of my favorite albums out of the 200 CDs I have, Pinkerton. I love everything about this album, the title, the picture, and for once, their little short pamphlet thing has a picture of the band. I mean, it's kind of cool. But at first when I listened to this, it's not that I didn't like it, not at all. It's just that I didn't. I had to listen to it maybe another time to totally fully understand it, and it's just how it was. And it's not like one of those albums like I'm saying it's so bad you have to listen to it a bunch of times before you like it. I'm just saying it grows and ages with time, and it's great. I'm doing a review. Leave right now. I'll call you when I'm done. But anyway, there's a lot of good to be heard on this album. This came out in 1996. Is their second album, and basically it fucked them for a while. I mean, they went on a 5-year hiatus because this is how it is. If a band, they made their album, the Blue Album, which was a lighter tone, poppier songs. Well, excuse me, but back then standard of pop. But they made this, which was much darker and much more honest. And it's not a bad thing. It was just a bad move because this is what bands do. They make their debut album that gets them popular, and they'll do that for at least another album to continue their popularity and win over the fans. Just one more album, and then they do the experimental stuff. But Weezer immediately took a bold step to Pinkerton, which I respect. But it killed them, and I feel bad that it did because this album's honestly a gem, and it's one of my favorite albums. But I'll get started with the review. The song Tired of Sex. This might be a hard song to get into. It starts off with some drums and some uh, cool keyboards and some distorted guitar. There's not even guitar for the most of it, but if you can get past the little intro, which isn't real great, the song really picks up with some crunchy chords, River screaming with some cool words. It's kind of a goofy ass song too. Like he's saying last Saturday night I had Catherine as if they were like foods. Like it's kind of disrespectful, but that's not what he's trying to say. He's basically saying he's having too much sex and just wants a woman to love. And honestly, that's a good thing. But the song goes into this insane solo, and the song just ends. Like the best part is like the ending. Like I'm not saying you're gonna be like, oh man, I'm waiting for the ending. It's a great kick-ass song through, and then the ending like makes it worth it. Like that you stayed in tune. And the very end of the song, it has this really cool chord that Rivers ends on, and it's really insane. The song, all in all. So this is a great opener. Might be kind of hard to go on you. And Get You is really cool too. You got these double guitar with a cool little lead, and it's mid tempo, but it comes in with a punch, like kind of a rocker thing, and it's just punchy and great. And the solo is even pretty cool, and then the ending outro is great with 3-part harmonies and even the band taking some of the chorus. And one sec. Hmm. Well, it's just it's also a really nice song, and it helps carry this mood in him. They did a really good job with that one, honestly. I think they should play it more at shows. People would love it. Um, no other one. Now this is a song you more like for like if you can connect with it or the words. This one could be hit or miss, but it's a really nice slow song with Matt Sharp's little high vocals in the background, and it kind of has a big feeling to the chorus in a way. Like you can definitely feel the disdain and stuff like that. And it's like something you definitely feel in your adolescence when you and your girlfriend have fights, but you know that you're meant for each other, and you just know you can't be apart. And so this song actually works because you kind of just had these two hard songs. This one slows it down. Why bother? Starts off with a cool little drum beat, and honestly, this would have worked if they had honestly pushed this as a single. If the album did well, it would have worked as a single. It's really good. It's got kind of a groove to it in the verse. I mean, it's kind of like bad quality for the verse, but it's not too. It's not bad to the point where you can't listen, but it's kind of hard to hear his vocals in a way. But it's like I said, it's got a certain groove to it, and then it comes into a really big chorus with some crunchy guitars and a really cool um like solo, and it's like a short and sweet type song, and it definitely keeps you invested in the album. Across the Sea, I can't get over how beautiful this song is. It draws you in with a great like little vocal melody and some bells and stuff, and like, and it's already good without knowing what it's about. You have these uh cool pumping verses, and then you get this big chorus, and at the ending there's this awesome three-part harmony intro, and there's even like a cool ending chorus. And what the song is about is, there's this girl who's writing to him during his time of being depressed, and he feels detached from her because the letter he's getting attached to her because nobody else is taking the time to speak to him. Someone who's actually interested in his life. And this song's just really good. It hits hard. And honestly, up to this point, you've gotten to the hits side of the album because the next three are The Good Life, El Scorcher, and Pink Triangle. Honestly, this album has had a lot to offer. Like, honestly, it's also bold not starting off with hits. I mean, back then, hits were. I mean, I won't say that. I'm wrong there, but most albums like have a hit on the first or second song, but this waited a while. The Good Life. You honestly don't expect it to be that good. You hear like a little riff, and you don't think anything special when the verse starts, but the end of the verse you hear this rasp, and then the guitars get crunchier, and you're like, huh, this is gonna get interesting. And then this big chorus comes in, and honestly, leading up to the chorus, you start noticing how big it's gonna get because Brian Bell, who is great by the way, with some great backing vocals, comes in. He's a really well-rounded band member, and it's just a big chorus, and then you get this solo. It's like these cool, like going crazy type solo that goes into this like really like it's kind of like a melody type thing. It's slow and cool and breaks down, and the song ends just as good as it starts, and it um you know it's just a good song. I mean, it's one of the singles, The Good Life, and you watch the video, and the videos don't seem as quality as the other ones. Like, honestly, you would think this is their first album, but it's not about quality with this album. El Scorcho was their lead single. Now, I honestly think it was a bad move making this their lead single just because it's so out there. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's unique, it's great. There's not a song like this. It's got a cool verse, it's the choral part drags you in with everybody singing. There's goofy parts about it, a crazy little breakdown where little bridge breakdown part where Brian and Rivers sing, and then the chorus ends, and it's just funny, and the song progresses goofy with solos and Matt Sharp making funny voices during the song. And this is like another great track. It's just people weren't ready for something like this, though it was really good. I bet if they had released this album and song between like 99 and 2000, where a goofy band like Blink was coming out, it would have been really well. Probably would have been safe to release it then with a little, and honestly they would have made it a little more quality because of the time period. Pink Triangle, this song is just all in all beautiful. Starts off with a really cool Christmassy sounding riff. Is that appropriate? And you kind of hear two lead parts, and his vocals are really great in the verses. It's like just to the point of where it's borderline awkward, but good enough like to where it just works and it's ballsy. And then the chorus is big. It's about him falling in love with a lesbian by accident, and I've never fallen in love with a lesbian, but I'm able to relate because I had a crush on one, and it was really unsatisfactory finding out the results. But the song's all in all really great. You hear another cool breakdown solo. There's nothing like incredibly like complicated about the solo, but it just works for the song, and it's great to watch live. And this song's just all around great. It could be the best on the album. And then at the end, you hear this chord progression where Rivers is kind of going crazy with what guitar players call an octave chord, and I play guitar. I just don't think I'm cool for it. Just I play, but it's an octave chord, and honestly, it's really great. Like we didn't even care about those chords for a while, and it was just really cool seeing that used already. Okay, Falling for You. I'm not real big on this song, but it works. It's not a bad track. I can see somebody really liking the song, but for me, it was just hit or miss. I'm gonna kind of skip it and just say it works as kind of a filler track. Butterfly. It's honestly really pretty, and what I like is Falling for You goes, to Butterfly, because Falling for You is about how he's like obsessed with this girl. Like he's pretty much saying how much he wants to have sex with her, and then Butterfly is like him being apologizing for being so like kind of like a pig. I mean, at least he owns up to this shit, and um, it's just really beautiful, great guitar work. His vocals are really nice and soft, and I mean, it's nowhere near Only in Dreams. Don't get me wrong, but um, and a little drum beat even complements the sound, and the song's just really nice. It's got just this feeling to it, and ends the album great. Now, my overall rating of this album, as an album, I give it um mm, there's just different ways. As a Weezer album, 5 out of 5 because it was so abrasive and crazy. And as an album, not looking at the quality of the recording, like not all the quality was bad. They just made it like they tried to make it sound crappier. So the album still gets a 5 out of 5 in that aspect. But if you want to look at quality, I'd probably give it about a 4.8 because other than the quality, the songs are great. And a lot of people could like Falling for You. There's no song on this album that like people could love any song, and it's just you can listen to it front to back without skipping. And I just want to say before I continue these reviews, I'm not just giving the first two a 5 because I'm biased of Weezer. After this, you'll see some lower ratings, honestly. And not that I'm saying I hate everything but these two albums. I'm just saying this album made them play it safe for a while. Not a bad thing, but definitely pick this up, especially if you're a Weezer fan. If you're just if you're not really into Weezer and you just like a couple songs, this album might not even be for you, to be honest. But it's honestly a really good album, and we rate this album 100 and 100 today. I personally like it than the Blue Album, but if you want to be technical, they're not comparable because they're two different styles. But thanks, and I appreciate if you actually took the time to watch this video, and sorry for eating my dinner during it, but hope you enjoyed the review, and like some feedback from the rock critic. Thank you.